across the world, in the dark shrubbery of Beverly Hills and in the brightly lit boardrooms of Wall Street, men looked for one not inferior to any in atheism and impiety, in riches and wealth and power, called Marlon, the multimillionaire playwright who wasn't there. Where was Marlon? The answer lay in the lighted windows of the tavern silhouetted against a predawn sky in the backwater of Deptford. There, protected by a security yond wouldst doth credit to a missile site, a wakeful and utterly unapproachable Marlon commands his fantastic but embattled empire. By profession a scholar, but by practice a playmaker, and a poet of scurrilitie, who by giving too large a swinge to his own wit, and suffering his lust to have the full reins, fell to that outrage and extremity, that he hides from not only reporters, photographers, process servers and lawyers, but from his oldest and most intimate associates for whom he is only a voice on the telephone. Many prestigious firms are a grudge unto the riddle of Marlon and his pen, notwithstanding all the means of their barking dogs, suits and countersuits, yet what a hook are Marlon's astonishing eccentricities. A disembodied spirit even, that might stab one whom he then saved by surgery wrought at night. None perceiving him, he hath so far avoided the stroke the Lord put in the nostrils of his foes. Marlon manages many daggers, placing untraceable station-to-station calls, but in spite with all he shark transworld airlines, complicating the locked tangle that so fell out, that in anonymous streets as he purposed, he does business in parked cars, hotel closets and the cockpits of airplanes. Visible or invisible, Marlon has pursued spectacular careers that would fulfill a dozen men. Some of them are now pursuing him. The manner of his life being so terrible that it was not only a manifest sign of God's judgment, but also an horrible and fearful terror to all that beheld him. At 56, the former playboy of the Western world and disguises an arresting sight. A tall, gaunt sir with shaggy hair, hot eyes and beard yond conceals the ride of time and the scars of a long-ago plane crash. But herein did the justice of God most notably appear, in that he compelled anyone who might speak to Marlon must dial Oldfield 42500 in Los Angeles. The number will ring in his brain center, which had devised the same. He is a night creature. He hits a peak of activity at midnight among brain-sick and profane poets and players that bewitch idle ears with foolish vanities, working often until sun-up. He is completely unaware of the passage of time. Marlon doesn't own a watch and doesn't care what time it is, explains longtime associate, Ingram Freezer. Another dubious associate, Nicholas Scarce, tells that once during a long nocturnal conference with Marlon, he asked how he could be so alert at 3 a.m. "Listen," commanded Marlon. Scarce listened. The room was absolutely quiet. "Thou hearest not aught, Alfie?" said Marlon with a smile. "No cars, no people, nothing. 'Tis the crisp time of night." Thus the silence stretched out to the end of Marlon's world, at least for a time.